Hello? Hi. Okay, for this, I just need you all to listen closely. Um, Hi. Especially going on after Danish is going to be quite hard. I'm not used to talking a lot, but I have this thing to help me. So here I go. I believe we were created to be creative. It's a song that I composed for a friend, and the friend was going through some pretty rough times. And now that song, the song which didn't come out through so well through the sound technical things here, but that song holds a special place in both of our lives. Now, that's what I believe music is. Music is a heart-to-heart activity. It talks to you in ways that words cannot. And that's the power of music. I'm sure that as you listen to the song, you were felt with some emotion. You were pressed with some feeling that hit you. And you were not ready for it, but it still spoke to you. And that's the thing about music. It does not describe what you should feel, but it provokes and it evokes in you some feeling, and it persuades you to feel in some way. And that's the thing about music. It is abstract. In what I mean by that is what a song means to me might not be the same thing to you, and that's how each one of us takes. Has that personal experience with music, because each of us takes off a bit, feeds off of music differently. So that is why music becomes a global phenomenon, because each one of us has that personal encounter with music. And sometimes I think we don't realize the huge importance that music plays in our lives. As we all gathered here into the hall, we had music that was playing in the hall already. And if you don't realize that, what it did was it kind of sets the mood to the event. Sometimes that music kind of takes off the mood, but it kind of set you in the mood for what is going to come. Now the TEDx videos that you watched or you're going to watch will have music accompanying it. And for so many reasons, it is the music that makes things work or makes things seem better. And that's the role of music in our lives. And can you imagine movies without music? Can you imagine the Titanic without the song "My Heart Will Go On"? Extremely cheesy, but it still works. And even worse, can you imagine a Bollywood movie without a song? That's going to be tragic. So the role of music in our everyday lives is hugely important, as it affects us, it evokes us, and it persuades us. And some studies even say that at the end of your life, when you're in your deathbed and when everything is done, what you will remember then are simple tunes and melodies that you learned probably when you were 3 or 4, and not the lofty ideas and the concepts and philosophies that you did through life. I think we all love music because it speaks to our minds, it speaks to our souls, and it moves our booties. Or, I think one of the few things that move body, mind, and soul, and that's why it's so popular. And everybody gets music. Nobody's asking why do we need music. It's something that everybody loves. So we know 3 things about music. It's that it's liberating, it's transforming, and it is persuasive. I actually prefer playing and people understanding music through that than just talking. That's because music, or say something like creativity, the theme of this whole event, is so abstract and so personal that it takes a lot of skill to explain that, and which I don't have. But what I can tell you is tell you my story. My dad was quite musical himself, and the most earliest and the most fondest memory I have is me sitting on his lap in front of this pedal organ. And it was one of these things that you'd have to pedal for sound to come out. And that's all he did. He just made me sit in front of it. He didn't teach me, he didn't school me, he didn't just place my fingers over and say, this is what you should do, this is a chord, or this is what it is. But he let me have a personal experience with music myself. Have the music speak in my head first, and then I respond. And that experience to me of having that personal encounter with music or an instrument was perfect. It just felt right. I could be so happy when I play, or I could just be myself. Now, that to me is creativity. Like what Daniel said, be yourself. I believe each one of us is original, unique, imaginative, and expressive. Now, you combine those elements, and that makes you. And when we stop trying to be somebody else, stop trying to ape somebody else's dream, or stop trying to live what others want us to do, or we are constantly afraid to make mistakes. We don't give us space to, think about what gifts I have. Thinking that there is no one else like me, or I'm the only one of me, I think is an important step to creativity. This is when we think creatively, because till then, what we're doing is thinking from this box which we put ourselves in, and that is and when we think creatively, we think out of the box because we're thinking originally. So coming back to my story, it was so hard for me to find a good music teacher when I was growing up. Finding there was such a dearth for good music education. Lots has changed, but I think we still have a long way to go. When the time came for me to choose a career, I said, okay, I'm going to be a musician. I'm going to study music and then hit music. But I soon realized that it was more complicated than that. Because I was the only guy who came out of school and college saying, I want to be a musician. There was nobody with me. There was nothing for me to follow. There's no pathway, no institution, no colleges like you have for the mainstream fields. So especially for the arts, I think it was quite difficult. Somehow we Indians have this lopsided view about life and career paths, and everybody wants to be an IT guy or an MBA guy or like an engineer guy. It's ironic how I say this in an engineering college, but I think each of us are gifted differently, and I think because of this narrow view of intelligence, we are on this route of teaching students out of being who they are to be. We train students to be uncreative without any passion, and not having a genuine sense of purpose or meaning for what they do and why they do it. And I've seen a lot of these people in my life who don't have any kind of drive or sense of purpose for why they're living, because they're not following what they're gifted for. And I think the problem is people do what they should do, and they don't learn what they want to or what they are supposed to be doing. I think that's because maybe people tell them that you can't earn money that way, or as if money is the epitome of satisfaction or success or something like that. We learn what is stigmatized, what has the scope. I've heard that word lots. We need to change the way we think about human intelligence or human skill. As you've all seen today, we have people with diverse skills, and they've all made it in life. And that's the story. I think I watched a TED Talk by Sir Ken Robinson, and he puts it really properly. And he says, there's so much academic inflation that we overrate mathematics and totally undermine music or dance or drama in a child's development. And so to be creative, I think you need to find a gift that you're gifted with. I believe each of us are gifted with something. Take that gift and make it your own, because nobody else can utilize it the way you can. Thank you. I want to thank God for giving me this gift of music, which I so cherish and love, and I hope all of you would one day notice and realize the power and potential that music has. What I'm going to do now is leave you with another track of mine. This is called Celestial Dots. And thanks for listening. Track. Thank you.